Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I am driving this. This is the Tata Tiago facelift. Now of course I would have shown you the key, but the car is on right now. It doesn't get keyless entry. Let's straight away open the engine bay. That is the engine, just a petrol engine. The diesel is gone. There's insulation right there. Of course it's shaking a lot because it's a 3-cylinder unit, and what Tata Motors has done is given this car a facelift. So the design is updated. You get the TriStar on the grille. Yeah, you see that? The TriStar on the grille. The lights have been revised a little bit. You get the chrome lining, which is known as the Humanity line. Of course, you get the gloss black finishing. Those are the fog lamps, which by the way, get a chrome surround as well. Yeah, that is the chrome surround. The lights are nice, but no LEDs, no projector, none of that. And this is of course the indicator placement. Okay, I'll show you the indicators in use. Yeah, this is the indicator placement. Now, there's a towing hook of the car. The bumper also sees minor revisions on this car, and of course that TriStar is the new theme for Tata Motors cars. Meanwhile, the hood has also been raised slightly. Why has it been done? Well, to meet pedestrian safety norms. Coming to the side of the car, it looks actually quite nice. Now it is obviously a regular hatchback, not a premium hatchback, but still this color actually makes it look quite premium. Specifically, the outside rear view mirrors have been finished in gloss black. The roof has been finished in gloss black. I think that is an option. It costs an additional rupees 11,000, and these alloy wheels also look pretty nice, having that dual tone treatment as well. Now the tire size happens to be 175/60/15. Well, it's adequate enough, the tire size for this car. Okay, there is no keyless entry. ये उल्टे रास्ते क्यों चला रहे हो भाई आप? आगे से घूम के जाओ ना. हाँ तो आगे से घूम के जाया करो, ऐसे उल्टे रास्ते मत मारो प्लीज. अभी निकल लो आप. So there is the keyhole of the car. Black finishing on the B pillar, and they were trying to black finish the C pillar also, but they ran out of this film, so this is not completely finished in black. I think they just carried forward. At the rear again there are certain changes to the car, minor revisions to the bumper and the tail lights as well. Now it gets a boomerang treatment sort of, that's what Tata Motors says. Now there is no LED here, and I actually like the color of the car. The exhaust is hidden ironically, and this is the rear wiper, which is having this sort of a treatment on it, this kind of weird sort of a finish. I mean, what does this signify to you guys? I don't know. There's a rear spoiler with a stop lamp, with this also, like it's a covering in gloss black. So a lot of mix and match in terms of color, which is kind of like different for sure. And here is the reverse parking camera of the car. Meanwhile, where is the exhaust? Well, the exhaust is somewhere here. Can you see the exhaust? Well, there is the exhaust. It is hidden. You can see the underbody of the car. Now let's quickly get inside, and you can see there's good amount of space on offer. Neha, you did a very terrible job of trying to turn on the rear wipers, which I told you to. Just forget it. You're just spraying from the front and all the water. I'm like, why is it raining all of a sudden? Because the wiper is spraying there. And just forget it. So you see, there is good amount of space on offer for Neha. Stop it! The water is coming on my face. The whole car has become wet now. Okay, you see there's good amount of space on offer, and because the car is not wide enough, 3 people are not comfortable. You can increase the boot carrying capacity by folding this down in one piece. One piece you can fold this down. No adjustable headrest at the rear, but you get the TriStar finishing all over the place as well. Seats actually quite comfortable. No center armrest, no center headrest either. No AC vents at the rear. The Kwid actually offers it. You see the floor is not completely flat, but there is storage space here for 3 sanitizer bottles, which Neha has actually started dealing in. So if you want your sanitizer, you can ping Neha on her Instagram account. Good thing is there's decent amount of space on offer. Scooped out seat back, no magazine holders. Under thigh support is not the best, and headroom is actually quite adequate. Yeah, my hair is just touching, but still adequate enough if you're not as tall as me. Handle to hold on to on both the sides, and there's where the seat belt is, which is ironically hidden right now behind the seat. That's kind of funky. Okay, it gets 8 speaker system, so 4 tweeter, speaker, chrome door handles on the inside. That's also quite nice. You can see the dashboard. Dashboard has this dual tone treatment as well, which also looks pretty cool on this car. Let's quickly get to the boot. I forgot to show you guys the boot. Now, storage space is here, door pockets, decent size, but you can't put a 1 liter bottle. You can put a half liter bottle. The boot is again decent enough in terms of size, but the loading lip is very high. It's not the easiest to get stuff inside. And below here, obviously, you get the spare wheel, which is obviously smaller size tire, which is 175/65/14. Car is running on 15, tire size is 14, and you see it gets the steel wheel, not an alloy. So cost cutting has been done. Okay, it says 3 kgs. You can put 3 kgs of luggage there, and the same as on the other side too. It says some code name here. This is actually quite light. Yeah, the car is like the replacement for the Bolt, but it's much lighter. There finally the rear wiper has worked. You can see that. Let's quickly get to the front. Now the good thing here is that there is good amount of storage space on offer. Neha, the wiper is on right now. Can you please shut it? Alright. So you see the dashboard design is actually nice. I'm sorry, actually it was not your fault, because once I opened the boot now, I think the wire connect.
You are never thankful.
Are you're using the front spray? I'm like, why is it raining all of a sudden? Acha, listen. Acha, okay, chill. We'll discuss about this later over a Starbucks coffee or an Annabelle Bucks coffee. Okay. Only the driver's side window gets the illumination. The others don't. Okay, one touch down power window for the driver. Oh, why is it not going one touch? Yeah, there it is, one touch. But does it roll up also one touch? No. Anyways, these are the controls for the outside rear view mirror adjustment, and the seats are quite comfortable as well. You see, it gets the TriStar everywhere, and there is a dead pedal, but it's raised, so not very comfortable. A lot of exposed bits all over the place below. The storage space right here. You know what? The Bolt had 0 storage spaces, so Tata Motors was like, we're going to give a multitude of storage spaces in this car, and that's the reason it has a lot. Again, half a liter bottle you can keep here. These switches are very much like the Indica Vista, so kind of old, and of course chrome door handles as well. Now you have to put the key inside to turn on the car, and it doesn't get an illuminated key ring either. The dashboard design actually looks quite nice. Yeah, it's a nice design for the dashboard. It gets this dual tone treatment. It's big, although a lot of hard plastics are present. The good thing is that it doesn't look visually bad. It looks visually premium. No auto dimming inside your view mirror. There is a mirror here. There is no mirror on the driver's side. And you see, this is the mic. Okay, things are very simple inside this car. Obviously, it's a small car, but this is a very premium touch. Press a button and you can open the glove box. The glove box is decent size, but you know what? There's a storage space on the top as well, so you can keep stuff on the top too. So nice compartment there. Again, some exposed bits. Now there is a hook here. That's also quite cool. You can open the hook like that. There is a hook there. And there are twin cup holders here. There's another storage space right there. There's storage space below here too, along with the USB and a 12 volt charging socket. And it has forever charging a phone. I'm telling you, get an electric phone. You can do it solar charging on it. Steering looks nice. It gets a flat bottom treatment. There are no buttons here, but there are buttons for the audio system on the left side, and it gets this red finishing on the right, on the like outside the AC vents, which are closer to the door, and it is actually body colored, so it will be yellow on a yellow car. You see that chrome finishing is also pretty cool. In fact, chrome finishing here as well, very subtly done. Air conditioning works well. There are just 2 buttons. One is for the lock and one is for the fog lamps for the front. It gets air conditioning, which happens to be a climate control air conditioning. So whenever you change anything, it shows you right there on the top. Yeah, you can change the temperature and it will show you there. Climate control air conditioning is really a very good touch. Now the steering wheel is obviously adjustable only for height. Yeah, not for reach, which is expected at this price point. Let me show this. Okay, these are the controls for the headlights. These are the controls for the wipers. The wipers work quite nicely. Lot of spray on offer as well. And you see, this is a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It gets Harman audio system, which is nice. It gets Android Auto, it gets Apple CarPlay, it gets USB, Bluetooth connectivity and whatnot. It's actually slick enough to use. It gets park assist too. So yeah, this is the park assist, which basically is the reverse parking camera. We can also get into reverse to show you that. So this is the reverse parking camera. Yeah, it makes that sound. It's a little delayed. It takes its own sweet time to actually process everything, which is kind of disappointing. Okay, what are we doing? So it could be slick. I mean, it could be a slicker system. This is obviously the gear lever. There's a button which has fallen off. I don't know where it fell off. And yeah, it's, I mean, not much to talk about. Now, most of you would be like, okay, Tata cars are good, but are they reliable? Well, to improve the reliability of this car, we have a Toyota key right there as well. Yep, that's true. It's a fact. The instrument cluster is an all-digital unit, similar to the one which we see on the Nexon as well as the Tigor. Actually, this car is so similar to the Tigor, it's kind of ironic. Oh no, it's not. And you get a digital display in the center which has a speedometer. Then you have twin trip meters. It tells you average fuel economy, instant fuel economy, gear position indicator. It also has a clock, service reminder. This is a bar, which is basically, there are 3 bars. This particular bar is obviously for the fuel meter. This is for the temperature meter. And on the left side, the bar is for, you guessed it right, that is for the tachometer. Now it is a little different when compared to the Nexon. However, it is similar also, so it's kind of, yeah, whatever. You get this chrome surround here as well, which is also pretty cool. Now the horn is very easy to press because it is on either side, but the problem is you will definitely end up pressing the horn by mistake in the city. Out on the highway, it's very easy and comfortable. Get this piano black finishing here as well. So as you see, not much to talk about, but let's listen to an audio right away. Did you see that as soon as I got into reverse, it automatically dulled down the audio volume? So that is good attention to detail as well by Tata Motors. When it comes to safety, meanwhile, this car gets a 4-star NCAP rating. It gets dual airbags at the front, cornering brake control, and that's about it. Not much to talk about, but we'll turn off the car because I have to show you a couple of more features. Firstly, the lights at night are decent enough, which you can see right now. Yeah, they are powerful enough. Meanwhile, let's just get out and let me turn off the car. Okay, when I turn off the car, the mirrors actually close. You can obviously close them from the inside by pressing a button as well. And on this key, there is this button with which I can turn on the lights as well. Just check this out. Press a button there, I can turn on the lights. It has the follow me home headlight function too, which basically helps you to see in the dark. That's also pretty cool. Anyways, let's get driving right away. The disappointing part with this touchscreen is there's no physical control. So, adjusting the volume is a pain in your ear, although you can do it from here also. It gets voice commands too. मुझे गर्मी लग रही है, गर्मी लगती रहती है, कुछ नहीं करती रहती है. Actually, that has to pay to your phone apparently. Let's turn on the park assist. There is a toll receipt holder here as well. Handbrake down, and let's get off from here. That's a nice thing that they are giving this park assist system in almost every new Tata car. It's kind of cool. Now, I will tell you something. In the city now, as long as you drive it on part throttle, the car is completely fine. It moves ahead without any issue. But, there are a lot of flat spots in the power. I see water, I spray. That's me. Okay. And you saw, it didn't give me the kick down. So, the gearbox is obviously very lethargic. It is an AMT unit, and AMT units are very lethargic. Amongst everyone who has done AMTs now, Tata Motors AMTs are not that great. And I'm sorry to break that to you because there's that jerkiness I can feel a lot more in this car somehow. But let's cut to the chase and take this car through a corner because the Tiago actually has good body control. Now, let me be very honest with you that the Tiago is actually not having the best steering. The steering is actually very light, which makes it easy to drive without a doubt. It is super easy to drive. You can drive it with one hand. That is the level of lightness the steering wheel has, and it's a compact car, so again this also helps. You can actually twirl the steering with one hand without any issue. That is the level of ease with which it drives. The suspension has some amount of stiffness, like you can feel the suspension has been set up on the stiffer side, but the ride quality is quite nice. In fact, you see it does a great job of absorbing almost everything in its stride, and braking performance is decent enough, although I would have expected the brakes to be a lot more better, but that's my expectation. Where are the drive modes? Well, the drive modes are not here because this is the AMT, so the drive modes have disappeared. Okay, there's Eco and there's City, the drive mode, which they actually changed from Eco City to City Sport, and of course in Sport obviously it's better, but here we have a manual mode for the gearbox, which is the AMT unit. Now, the problem with the AMT is, like I was telling you, it is not the fastest in terms of shifts, which is fine. I completely understand. It's an AMT. It's a cost-effective option. It will not shift gears really fast. But the problem I'm facing is that, the jerkiness is there, and that is amplified by the fact that there are a lot of flat spots in the power delivery. So this engine, it needs to be worked upon. First and foremost, this engine really is one of the best on paper. Yeah, on paper, you're like, okay, 1.2 liter. It's a naturally aspirated motor, produces 86 PS of power and 130 Newton meters of torque. It's a DOHC unit, all aluminium, whatnot. But out on the road, that performance can't be felt. So there's a massive difference in terms of on-paper figures and what is there in the real world with this car. All right, manual mode, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. You see the swinging motion is there near the red line. So it upshifts at full pelt around 6000 RPM, and this is a 5-speed gearbox. Okay, gearing is not the best because the third feels a little too tall geared. Meanwhile, the overall gearing, the tuning of this engine could be a lot better, and that really saps the enthusiasm from this car. It doesn't feel as enthusiastic as I would have expected it to be. Well, that's a bit of a disappointment. Meanwhile, what do we have here? Motorbeam guys shooting. What's up? Come on, give me that punch. It's not downshifting. What's happening there? I give that downshift to it using manual control of things. It gets really very vocal. So lower down the rev range, it's actually smooth enough, but that 3-cylinderness can be felt because as you get going fast now, the vibrations creep in, and of course it gets really vocal near the red line as well. It doesn't like to be pushed. This engine just does not like to be pushed. It just needs to be driven very sedately. Daniel किधर है? हो गया उन लोग का shoot?
Keep it down only then. Don't playing with it. काट ही देता हूँ अभी तो. अभी ठीक है.
अब तो तुम्हारी शादी भी होगी, अब तो काट सकते हो. जुबैर शादी कब कर रहे हो?
He's getting married in November.
कुछ भी यार, नेहा को टीआरपी चाहिए ना, कुछ भी बोल देती है. I told you not to go and announce it everywhere.
अरे chill है यार. टीआरपी मुझे नहीं, तुम्हें चाहिए.
The Tata Tiago is available in 8 variants. The price range actually starts at 5.56 lakhs for the base petrol variant, which is the manual, and goes all the way till 7.91 lakhs for the top of the line petrol automatic AMT, which we are driving right now. The premium for the AMT over the MT happens to be 57,000 rupees, and all the prices I mentioned are obviously on-road Mumbai, and 3 out of those 8 variants happen to be for the automatic. The rest are obviously manuals. Now you see, performance is very disappointing somehow. Ride quality is good, handling is decent, but the steering feels very slacky in the center head position. So although, I mean, it weighs up decently well at higher speeds, this isn't a car you would like to push around corners, although the tires offer a decent amount of grip, but the steering just has so much slack in the center head position. It just, like, this is not a car you would like to drive fast. From an enthusiastic perspective, the Tiago obviously disappoints, but if you're looking for a feature-loaded, comfortable and safe car in this segment, then the Tiago really stands out, because the competition happens to be from Datsun, from Maruti with the WagonR, and in front of all these cars, including the Santro, the Tiago just feels so much better as an overall package for a first-time car buyer who really isn't interested in driving fast or enthusiastically. And that's the reason why it's a convenient car to drive in the city, and that's where it really excels. Just don't expect to see the excitement while driving this vehicle. Now, Tata Motors actually is going backwards in certain areas, in the sense that earlier the SUVs were four-wheel drive, now the SUVs are front-wheel drive. Earlier, the Tiago had a diesel engine, now it only comes with a petrol engine, which pinches more because the petrol engine is not that great, unfortunately. And Tata Motors really needs to up its petrol engine game, because the other people in the segment, especially Maruti Suzuki, they offer such a fantastic petrol engine. So it takes a shift to third gear to get you past 100 km per hour, and then third gear is stall. Now I'll tell you something, this car absolutely excels in terms of visuals. It looks good, the interior is good, and obviously practicality is also in plenty. It also has a fantastic suspension and chassis, which means the ride is good, the handling is good enough, but the steering is kind of lacking. However, what really disappoints is the powertrain here, because this engine is just not up to scratch, unfortunately, if you drive it enthusiastically. And again, the AMT gearbox is laggy, it's not fun. But if you don't want fun from a car and you're looking for a practical, easy to drive first car which is extremely safe, well, I would recommend the Tata Tiago in front of the other options in the segment, because this car certainly feels well put together. So guys, this is my vlog of the, where are we, which gear are we in? Come on, give me the oomph. This is my vlog of the Tata Tiago facelift. I know there's not much to talk about, because unfortunately, I mean, it's high time we get a better petrol engine from Tata Motors that will not only benefit the Tiago, the Tigor, even the Nexon as well. Meanwhile, the Altros also, how can you forget that? And this car is giving a mileage of 11 km per litre right now, but it should be somewhere between 11 to 15 km per litre depending on your driving style. Bye-bye.